Hey everybody, Carrie Hoffmeister here with Carrie on Abundant TV. I say it every week that I'm excited to have who I have on, but I'm excited. Today we have on Christian rock band Disciple, and we have two of the members, Andrew and Kevin. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being on today.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
Thank you so
So,
much.
Andrew, do you want to raise your hand so they know who you are? And then
I'm Andrew. I play guitar.
I'm Kevin. I sing.
he's the singer. Yes. I'm super excited to have you guys on. I have a million things that I want to say, but I kind of wanted to start off with a little funny story. So when I first experienced you guys, I guess that would be the word, was at Winter Jam when you were in Michigan. And I went with my pastor's wife. So, and you're already laughing. You already know where this is going. I asked her, I was like, can I tell this story? Because this is so funny.
Yeah.
And I've been to Winter Jam before, so I feel like they usually have like a Christian rock band and then like a rapper. So I kind of knew what to expect, but I had never heard you guys. So when you came on, you guys came in pretty strong. Like you came in and rocked it. And I turned and looked at her and she was just like, eyes wide open. And she's like,
Yeah.
she was like, I'm being open-minded. They're reaching people that I can't reach. And I was like, you're right, they are. And so I'm sure you get that a lot. And we're going to talk more about that a little later. But it was really funny. And I was trying to get her to kind of, rock with you guys. And so that was quite the experience for her. So, but she liked it. She enjoyed it. And I told her I was going to be on today. She's like, that's awesome. So that was my first experience with you. We're going to go ahead and start. Everyone knows we start with what I call carry on the questions, which is usually rapid fire questions. But since we have a group, well, we have two of the four, we're going to do most likely questions. So I'm going to ask you, it's going to be based off your whole group of most likely, and you can give different answers, whatever you think. It's just kind of fun to get to know you all and the other two that weren't on today, and we can give them a hard time. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Who is most likely to cry at animal adoption commercials?
Joey.
Really? You were really quick with that answer. Do you agree with that? He's frozen.
Oh, look, he's laughing so hard it took up all the bandwidth.
All right, we'll keep going. Maybe he'll unfreeze there. Who is most likely to have your back?
Kevin.
Hey, I'm there. I'm back. I was gone for a second. Sorry.
You were laughing so hard. You just yeah. Did you agree with the first answer? Yep, he did. He sure did. Okay, so Kevin's most likely
Sorry.
you're back again?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay, so I asked who's most likely to have your back, and he said you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big old Papa Bear for my boys, for sure.
That's good. Who is the messiest on tour?
Me?
Really?
We don't have anybody that's like real, like it's not a problem, but we have had guys like crew guys, other guys not in the band ride the bus that have made quite an impression with mess, but nobody Disciples got an issue with cleanliness.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably the messiest. The other guys are really, really good. Josiah does leave his food after he finishes eating it. But that's not on the bus. That's just wherever we are. He made us leave it there.
Yeah.
So he wins that one, but I'm definitely messier for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the most likely to forget to text back? Are you pointing to Andrew?
For sure, me. For sure.
Really?
Yeah. I don't check messages or emails. Let's see how many. Hold on one second.
Show him the number.
Let me just confirm.
It's good that I didn't email you then to get this.
I have 562 unread text messages and 34,272 unread emails. So
if you're watching this and you've texted him, it's not personal.
No, it's not. I don't want that number to change. So
okay.
Yeah.
Don't text.
Yeah. No.
Let's see. Who is most likely to get into shenanigans?
Josiah.
Yeah, Josiah. He's like the smartest, but also the funniest. Most
Okay.
likely to make a pun,
Whoa.
maybe like a bad.
Whoa. Are you handing that mantle to him?
Uh-oh. We're gonna fight.
They're both really funny. Yeah, he's Josiah is very funny,
Yeah,
but
Oh,
Andrew's also very funny. So they kind of have a little battle going on. It's
yeah.
very
okay.
different kinds of humor.
Yeah. It's
Battle
only
of the humor.
he only makes me
It's
who I
not it's not really a battle. I've kind of made this battle up in my mind and made it a bigger deal than what it actually is. So
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
pit
like
them against each
Larry
other to
Bird and
try to
Johnson.
be funny. So just for my own enjoyment.
Entertainment. Yeah. I
Yes,
got you.
exactly.
We need each other to.
Yeah.
Of course. Who is most likely to heavily edit their photo before posting it on social media?
Joey.
Ooh,
Joey?
Without
yeah,
a doubt.
yeah. I mean, and maybe not this Joey, but definitely like when once upon a time Joey. And it's because he's got the skills, like he's got the
Oh
editing
yeah.
That's
I mean,
funny.
I would do it if I knew what to do, but I have no idea. It's like this is the photo, so this is what gets posted.
Yeah, this is
He
how it
doesn't
is. I don't have
need
Yeah.
time.
to heavily edit like his appearance or anything, because he's I don't know if you've seen him, but the guy's basically like a male model. But yeah, he just
Oh, that's funny.
he's got the skills.
Yeah.
Who is most likely to spend an entire day scrolling on their phone?
Joey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
poor Joey. Joey, okay. Because he's editing his photos, right? So he's
well,
Mhm.
yeah, it goes
yeah.
handy.
Who is most likely, I feel like I'm gonna know this one, to spend hours getting ready?
Hmm.
Or at least
Hours?
who takes longer?
We
I take the longest.
You
Yeah.
take the longest?
Yeah.
What takes so long?
Shave, blow dry my hair, straighten my hair.
Okay.
You'll
That's
never see Kevin on stage with the like just rolled out of bed hair that the rest of us have, or at least me and Josiah have.
they're
So he's
they
very
are
prepared. Yeah.
they are rock and roll through and through. They just get up there, doesn't even matter.
Just how they are.
Yeah,
Which
it's a
yeah.
battle between me and Joey. He is like has really nice hair and
Well, and
you
he
know,
does like the eyeliner too, right?
I don't know.
Does he do
I don't
eyeliner?
think
Or does it
I
just
don't
look
think
like
so.
eyeliner?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's
I've
just
seen
got
photos of him where
bright
it
blue eyes.
looks like that, but he does.
Oh, it just looks like that. Well,
I've never seen him put that on. Yeah.
so
Yeah. No,
he,
but he spends
I'm
time
jealous.
fixing his hair and has nice clothes and I don't fool with fashion very much. I just jeans and a t-shirt, but my hair is not presentable, so I have to make it presentable.
Okay. I
Yeah.
feel you on that.
And it always
Yeah.
is.
I can relate to that one. Who will most likely lie about their birthday to get a free cake at the restaurant?
For fun? Yeah, I would do
That's a
that.
Josiah.
Josiah,
Yeah,
maybe?
that's a Josie.
Okay.
Josiah.
Put him up
So I
to
feel
it,
like
or he would do it to somebody else to embarrass them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like that's something I would do as well. Just like,
Yeah, we're all capable.
yeah, all capable of embarrassing each other.
so is Josiah, would he be considered the prankster of the group?
He's a lot of fun. There's no question about it. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
thankfully
Shut
we don't have like a big like we've known bands. Like there's a band that we're all friends with called Waverly who has legendary pranks going far, far back into the the history.
Who
But
whose hand was it that actually put Jason Wilkes' face into the birthday cake? That was
um,
that you?
that was I mean Trent got me. Our old drummer Trent dunked my face in a cake one time.
But who got Jason though?
Maybe I tried to get him and he didn't. Like he dodged it or something. I
Oh,
can't.
okay. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. You
Yeah.
guys.
We just go
I
through the
thought they
smell
got
the cake routine.
I thought you got him. I
Smells
was gonna say the title is yours if you got Jason Wilkes'
There
face
you
in
go.
there.
Yeah, I would give that to you as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he did some kind of superhuman neck snap and like avoid it.
Could have.
Okay, I got two more for you. Who is the most likely to be late?
That would be me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a term called Stanton time that as Andrew Stanton applies just to me. So I think that's probably
It's your own time.
You were on time to this interview though.
You were early.
that's true. I'm turning things
Really.
around.
I'm used to everyone showing up like right at the time. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait. And I got the email that you hopped on, and I was like, oh, I better get on. So he was early today.
He's turned a corner.
Yeah.
He's not the same.
You were just so excited about this interview, right?
Yeah, no, it's the good habits of my wife and her family have finally started to osmosis is happening, and I'm getting those habits. So
That's good. That's good.
I'm thankful.
All right, last one. This is a really important one, okay? Who is most likely to say that Carrie Hoffmeister is their favorite person to ever interview them?
Wow. That's
Definitely Joey or Josiah would say that.
yeah.
So
It's
not
a
here.
tie between the two of them. Yeah.
They're not even on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but they're gonna be so jealous. Just imagine them right now watching at
I
home,
know.
completely just gutted because they weren't a part of this.
They will be. They'll be reaching out, and then I'll have to interview them too.
I actually am very excited about your
Me
show
too.
and very excited about the TV station and can't wait to
Yeah.
watch it for myself and let everybody else know about it. So this is actually really exciting.
Thanks. I'm super excited to have you on as well. It's very different. There's like a theme to my show. I feel like in every episode we talk about legalism. I was raised that way. My husband was raised that way. And I feel like though it's a connection that a lot of artists have, because even just with the two that have, well, the one that has aired and Ryan Stevenson's going to be on the show next, but there's just a connection there that we've all kind of experienced. And so I've been listening to your music. You guys, I hadn't heard of you, like I said, until Winter Jam. And I've been listening. And so I have questions for myself just because of how I was raised. I mean, one, even artists like I said, Ryan Stevenson and Ryan Ellis wouldn't have been acceptable to listen to. So definitely Disciple would not have been okay to listen to. But when I watch some of your interviews, your heart is just you just love the Lord. And so I just think people miss that so much. And we'll get into that. But to start off, I just kind of want you to talk a little bit about the background. The band's been around for a really long time, since 92. Is that correct?
That's right.
And, Kevin, are you the only original member?
Correct.
Okay. So you don't even look old enough to have been in a band for that long. When I read that, I was like, I think I have the wrong band, because that's a long time.
Now you're my favorite. Absolutely. Now
I'm being serious though. You do not look, I mean, we're going on 31 years.
Yeah. We started in December
You
of
must only be 32, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Inherited
Child
the band at
prodigy.
birth.
Yes. So give us just a background on how this came about. And I know you mentioned you were kind of raised that way as well. So what made you want to go into this genre?
I can give you the shortest version, which is not that short, but I'll do my best. My youth pastor gave me a Christian metal cassette tape in the late 80s of a band called White Cross, and my mom was very upset because Christian rock in the 80s was satanic, as everything was satanic in the 80s. And shortest version I can give you is this music changed my life. It was very bold, very courageous. I mean, these men. I was almost instantly introduced to a band called Petra and then a band called Striper. And these guys would have Christians protesting at their shows and also other people protesting at their shows. So they had like good and evil both protest. They had no allies really. And so what they were doing in the 80s was extremely courageous and bold to believe in what they were doing and to stand for something. And so I had this admiration and respect for Christian rock bands because my friends, they were like, oh, it's Christian rock, well that's not cool, and so my friends didn't, that thought mainstream rock was cool, they didn't necessarily think Christian rock was cool. My parents thought it was evil, so nobody was on their team, right? So it really was this thing that I was just enamored by how bold and courageous it was. And so when we would go and watch these people perform, they were so bold about their faith on stage, and like not backing down. Just the amount of courage that it would take to know that, there's all these people that are going to be like, you know, thinking that you're insane for saying this, and they're going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
And I took my mom to a Petra show. It was like 1991 or 92, and it's 90, excuse me, 90. And they gave an altar call, and it allowed people to come forward and pray to receive Christ. And about 400 people came forward and gave their life to Christ. And my mom leaned
Wow.
over and in my ear, and she whispered, she's like, I get it now. And
Mm.
this person who was completely against it, completely like trying to get me, to stop listening to this kind of music, saw it firsthand. These people reaching, kids that the church couldn't reach, and people giving their life to Christ. And it's just obviously at an early age, there was just this pull to music. My father was a choir director. I was singing in church from the age of 5, and then being introduced to this type of music, and meeting other guys in school that were into music, and just they were like, "We need a singer." I was like, "I'll do it." I mean, it was almost just right place, right time, all the time. God just having me in the right place, the right moment for every single thing, almost every single thing that's ever happened to us. Even getting our first record deal, just another long story, but that's how it started. Just some friends in school playing music together, and I knew that there was only one thing I was going to sing about, and that was Jesus. And the reason being was it impacted and changed my life, and that's what I wanted to do for him.
That's awesome. Was that a genre that you listened to before you were given that? No.
Didn't know it even existed.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Christian rock doesn't find you. You have to come find it.
That is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
it's one of those things that you kind of stumble upon, or somebody introduces you to, or you show up at Winter Jam and you're like, I didn't know I signed up for this.
That's one of the
Yeah.
only times we get to surprise people is
Yeah.
during a tour like Winter Jam. So I'm glad that
You guys killed it though. I mean, I feel like that crowd went nuts and like just worshiping the Lord. Like it was, you guys did a great job. And
Thank you.
yeah, one of my favorites is Erase, one of my favorite songs.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so I want to go into now the legalism thing. I kind of prayed about. I was talking to my husband yesterday, and I was like, I don't want every episode to be about it, but I feel like it's just a common thing that I'm really passionate about, and I want to
Yeah.
share like artists' hearts because I think so many people miss it. And they're so focused on the appearance or that there's drums and there's guitars. Because the way I was raised is we only listened to like Bible college groups. That was only like piano. Like you didn't add any other instrument. And I'd always question that because I was like, where does that say in the Bible that you can't add that? And it was just 3 years ago that my husband started his journey out of that and into Christian music. And we're on the worship team at church. And so these like worship songs were really new to him. And he had a hard time kind of adjusting to that because when you're just taught one thing your whole life, it's like embedded in there. So you mentioned these other bands that you liked. They had protesters at their show. Have you ever experienced that with Disciple or?
A very, very small amount of times.
Okay.
And we're almost excited when it does happen. We're like, yay, finally, because these men that kind of paved the way for us, we've had the opportunity to become friends with most of them now, and which is insane to meet your heroes, and then not just meet them but then get to know them. um they did all the heavy lifting. There are occasions where people will come out and protest, and we had some at Winter Jam for sure. We've had some at our shows
Oh,
for
really?
sure, but no, yeah, absolutely, but nothing like what it once was. And so we're real thankful for what they went through to give us the opportunity to we basically play with almost no resistance. And it's nice to have the support of the churches that we play, and the communities that we play. you know, it's a really great thing. But we kind of do get excited when somebody comes to protest. So if somebody's watching this and feels the need, you know, please come out. You'll make us feel good.
How do
It'd
you how do
be a
you
great
handle
day.
that? Do you guys ever have you ever went out and actually talked to these people yourselves, or
Yeah,
A little
sure.
bit, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
and
guy in Baltimore once
yeah, go out and
that
talk
we
to them.
yeah.
And the thing is if somebody's made their way to come out and protest, you know, you have to know that there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to change their mind that day. They're not there to actually listen. They're there to only speak.
right?
And I think that you know, as somebody that Christ gave their life for, we just show them love and respect, and know that they're being bold and they're being brave and they're being courageous in what they believe in. And I just respect them and love them, and
Hmm.
just show them that, and don't try to argue with them or any of that, because it's not, none of my words are going to mean anything anyway. And that's the thing. It's not you can't talk anybody into seeing what we do. You have to experience it. So like my mom saw, you know, firsthand. You can't just reason with words. You know, you have to see the fruit of something.
Mhm.
Uh, and and you can't manufacture those instances. You know, you can't really just make it happen. They kind of have to find it for themselves. And so, yeah, don't really try to talk anybody into it. I mean, if I were to try to talk somebody into it, you know, for the sake of this interview, I would just simply say, you know, if I'm singing Amazing Grace with a piano and
Hmm.
an
Mhm.
acoustic guitar, and the Holy Spirit's there, and we're singing Amazing Grace, and it's wonderful. Now, what happens when I plug this guitar into electricity? Why did all of a sudden it become evil? Just
Right.
because I just literally plugged it into electricity. I didn't change the
Right.
chords. I didn't change the words. I didn't change anything. And what if there was these things over here that just began to keep time? I like hit these things, you know, known as a drum, that just that it's keeping time, and there's a cymbal, you know, that's making this noise. Obviously, you know, Psalm 150, you know, is praising with the loud sounding cymbals. If I actually take this verse literally and do it, you know, what about this action has made it evil? And obviously,
Yeah.
you know, when you think about it in the simplest of terms, it's not about that. It's the way that rock music has been portrayed by the world and the way it's been used by the world, that this
Mhm.
attachment and connection to it. Obviously, plugging a guitar into electricity doesn't make a song evil. Obviously, playing a drum doesn't is not evil. And so it's about the way the music is being used. And so there's this attachment of how this music has been used for so long that you think that, oh, you're just going to be using it the same way,
Mhm.
and that's not the case. Same as country music, you know, most gospel music, you know, sounds very similar to country music. You take the words away, and
Yes.
it's very similar. That it's not the music. The music is never evil. Music cannot be evil. Music is incapable of being evil. It's all the same 8 notes in every key,
Mhm.
12 chromatic notes, you know, on the scale. It's incapable of being evil. It is the way it is being used. It is the words behind it that make it mean something. And the last thing I'll say, because I can get long winded, is just, you know, music also has a way of emotionally breaking down walls that
Mhm.
nothing else can. I can speak to somebody, I can say some words, and they might mean something, but if those words are sung to someone in a song, it has the ability. People who are struggling with depression or anxiety or thoughts of suicide, you know, I can tell them the truth, and it might mean something. But if I sing those words to them, it has this way of just penetrating those walls and the armor of our heart to
Mhm.
where people can hear it with their soul. And all of us have experienced, you know, music in that way, and it's from heavy music to soft music to any type of style of music. And we know that, we realize it, and we've combined two of the most powerful forces in the universe, which is the power of music and the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And you know, we think we have a pretty special thing. And so we believe in it. We believe in what we're doing, and we get to see the fruit of it all the time, and it's kind
Yeah.
of it's a beautiful thing.
I think what I love about music too, and also like the freedom of Christ and being a Christian is that we are also different, and we have different tastes. We have different fashion tastes. We have different music taste. You reach people that other people could never reach. And so if we're to say, oh, you can't have Christian rock, well, then they're going to go listen to other rock bands and get,
yeah,
that. And so, and I loved when my pastor's wife, she's so open, and she has taught me a lot about just really just seeing people for who they are in their hearts. And that's what truly matters, is where is their heart at? And, it may not have been something she would listen to, but she said, I'm open because they're reaching people. And you just look at the audience. Like, I remember at one point when you guys were singing, I literally just turned around and looked at the audience and was like, wow, like, they're worshiping the Lord. They're having the best time. They could be doing something else than being here worshiping God. And so so many people get it so wrong. And we, like I said, are just so focused on, oh, they have long hair, or they're rocking, or they're singing angry. What are they angry at? Well, actually, they're angry at the devil. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like anger in their hearts. They're mad at sin. They're mad at the devil. And so if you would just and so I love the story about your mom, because that takes a lot, to be so open-minded. And that's a good mom right there, to be like, go.
I tell people this all the time. There's almost every show, every other show, there's a parent or a concerned grandparent that comes up to us and says, hey, I don't know about you guys, and I don't, my son or grandchild's into your music, and I'm just here to whatever. And I'm like, thank you, because here's the thing: which one would you rather have? A parent that just kind of just lets you go and do whatever you want, or you actually care about your kid?
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom, as legalistic as it was, still cared about me and wasn't ready for me to ingest something that she wasn't sure if it was good or not.
Yeah.
And I appreciate I tell them that. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, I just really appreciate people who are honest like that. I actually don't view it as very legalistic. I actually view it as someone just not being sure of, what's right or wrong or good or bad, and you just trying to be a good parent, and having that experience has really helped me to see it that way, having a mother who loves me and who is Disciple's biggest supporter. Okay, like bought us our first van, but whatever, and just kind of going from that mindset of like, this is evil. I mean, you gotta understand, it's hard to put yourself culturally back in a time frame where you got guys like Jimmy Swaggart writing books, Wolves in Sheep's Clothing, and it was a book about Christian rock and the dangers of Christian rock. And so you have these famous, very influential spiritual leaders, kind of telling people that this is evil. And well, of course, a lot of people are going to think that and have strongly held views. That's not so much the case anymore. There's not so many strong, influential, popular Christian leaders speaking out against Christian rock. There are some, but it's nowhere near like what it was in the early '80s, mid '80s. So, and the truth is that culture has changed so much. We have way more things to worry about now than Christian rock music, in this culture. And there's a verse in the Bible, it's 1 Corinthians chapter 9, where he says, I become all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And for us, it was that, whenever we walked into an environment where we don't look any different, where we don't sound any different, but we live differently, and we speak differently, that we let our light shine through our actions, not by what we look. Because someone wearing a 3-piece suit and all put together, it means nothing. Another verse where God says, man judges by appearance, but I judge by the heart. I look at the heart. That's kind of what we wanted to disarm, our listeners, with, to not judge us. We know that Christians are going to judge us by our appearance, but we want, lost people to not judge us by our appearance. We want them to be disarmed by the fact that we don't look any different than them, possibly, if they're the type of group that we're trying to reach, and see that we are different, not by the way we're dressing. We're not trying to change their outward appearance. We're trying to change, their heart, and let them know that there is a God who loves them and sent his son Jesus to die for them and wants a relationship with them. And so we're just trying to reach them, not reach them with our appearance, not reach them, with any type of thing that the world would use. We're trying to reach them, with our actions, with our heart.
Yeah, we've been given a lot of freedom. We have freedom in Christ, and we also have freedom in our world, in our country, to say these things that we believe and do these interviews and play these shows. And that's what we want to use to do what we're passionate about. And we don't see the concern or the opposition as like something that's, like Kevin was saying, like, oh, we have to defeat that or something. That's part of the freedom, right? It's like everybody gets to question it and have their feelings about it too. But our only goal is, Disciple is an entertainment, rock band. And so that's like a part of who we are and what we do and what we'll always do. But it's our mission to not let that ever overtake the heart of what we're about, which is, sharing the gospel and getting those people that might have concerns or be sort of like unfamiliar with what we do to see that, and also to see the fruit of, like Kevin was saying, the people that we're able to reach, or like your friend at the show is able to see, like, there's people that love that music like us, that we were reached when we were young, or when we were in a vulnerable state, or when we were in crisis, where those bands and their lyrics and their shows and that community of people, and musicians and music fans, all that made a huge difference in our lives and in our spiritual place in the world. So we just want that to continue to grow and survive and endure all the changes that the music industry goes through, or that, our country and world goes through, or that the subset of Christian rock goes through. It's very different from when I was young, and it's different from when Kevin was young. But I think the fact that it's still here says a lot, and we just want to be a part of that, journey through those like ages into the next phase, because we're friends with a lot of young bands that have the same sort of drive and passion, and we get to also be a part of their journey, play shows with them, and see them kind of come up into the forefront of what we do now.
That's so good. And I feel like it's not even just, Christian rock groups that get it. Everybody gets it. My husband and I, we have like a small music ministry. We write and sing music around here, and we've gone to nursing homes and stuff, and they usually pick on me. Like, they'll go up to my husband and say, that was great. But if they have anything negative to say, we've found they always go to me. Not sure why, but and they'll come to me and say, you should maybe pray about not singing that song. And I'm like, oh, I totally missed what that song was about. But God's had to, I feel like maybe they come to me for God to help me in those areas where I can be a little emotional, and I've had to learn to have thick skin and let people express, like you said, the freedom of just expressing how they are and just saying, oh, well, thanks for that. I appreciate that.
Well, here's the beautiful thing I can give to you is that not every song is for everyone. The gospel is for everyone. Period. Yeah. The gospel is for everybody. The most remote tribe in the jungle, the gospel is for them. My music will not reach them. It just won't.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out how to get the gospel to them. Is it just somebody sharing it to them? If, maybe art is not the way, because art would be music or movies or, whatever. Maybe art is not the way to reach them, but art is the way to reach some people. And with art, there's always preferences. Some people don't like violent movies, so putting the gospel in a violent, movie like The Passion of the Christ, which is very violent, it's not going to reach some people who don't, are just going to be like, no, thank you. But like someone who's into, some stories, The Chosen was a great
I love
is
that
a
show.
great show, right? You know, and it's got a lot. It's very story driven. Well, the gospel is going to reach somebody like that. It's two very different pieces of art about the same person, Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
That's a great way of looking at music. Is, you know, you have Southern gospel, you have hip hop, you have Christian music, you have worship music, you have rock, you have metal, you have all these different types of art. And when it comes to music, people have preferences,
Mhm.
and music is neutral. It is incapable of being good or evil. It is a note. Every single one of those notes are on the scale. We can just go on the piano right now, and it's just a note that sounds differently because it's played from a guitar, played from a piano, or played from an organ, or played, you know, whatever. Even the drums have a note. They're incapable of being good or evil, but how we use those notes, people have preferences. They're like, oh, I love the way that sounds. Now we put this powerful message of the gospel to this sound, and it's going to reach somebody who likes that sound. And there are people who are never going to like your sound and your husband's sound. It's just not going to be for them, and
Yeah.
that is okay.
Yeah.
It is okay. But there are people that it is going to reach. They're going to resonate, and it's going to unlock the walls around their heart. It's going to penetrate their heart, and they're just going to begin to worship with you, and you've led them in worship, and they will be closer to God for it. And that's what you you know, can focus on. It's like the parable of the sower throwing the seed. You know, he's not responsible for the condition of the ground. That's not his responsibility. His responsibility is to cast the seed. And so you can't worry about who's going to like it and who's not going to like it. We know that it's for somebody, and whoever it's for, that's who we're here for.
That's good. Yeah, that's what we always say, is if it's that one person, okay, that's, you know, we reached one person. That's what God wanted us to do. So thank you for that. That was really good.
And when you make something specific, right, it's like it's tailored for one person because it's more impactful for them. Like it has that, you know, sharper
Right.
edge where it's like, oh man, that really affected me. It wasn't just a surface level thing, you know, and that's always going to push the other things or the other preferences, you know, further away. But yeah, there's room for all that, I think.
Yeah. So who writes your songs? Do you guys write your own songs? Do you write together? Do you write with other musicians?
We mostly write together.
Okay. Your whole group.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll occasionally write a song, you know, with Honor and Glory, which is our worship project. We did write some songs with some worship writers in Nashville, but for the most part, oh, and in Australia actually, if you're familiar with the Planet Shakers, we wrote a song called "Come Alive" with one of those guys, Joth Hunt. But from the most part, we just write songs. Disciple, especially, we write all of our songs together as a band.
Do y'all have pretty different like songwriting styles or
Yes.
process? What is that?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, very different. Yeah, which is beautiful, which
Yeah.
is like, you know, I mean, I could tell, you know, if I'm listening to a song without knowing uh you know, who did it. Just blind taste test, if you will. I can say, oh, I know who wrote this song. But that's just because I know them very well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if other people can pick it out or not. Um, you know, so it's
Okay, so then whose idea was Erase? Because that one's a little bit more calmer.
mm-hmm.
So okay, maybe I should guess.
This is
I know y'all that
yeah. Well, okay. Once I tell you who wrote what, you know, once you get the hang of it, at some point you'll be able to figure
There's
out,
a pattern.
you know, who. Yeah, there's a pattern.
Okay.
That Josiah wrote Array.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's there definitely is a pattern. And then sometimes it can get convoluted. So like Josiah wrote Array. Josiah also wrote Promise to Live, but Andrew was a very intricate part of creating Promise to Live and making it what it was. And so you kind of see the connection in Erase and the songs Promise to Live coming from Josiah, but Andrew was in there. So but Andrew is going to be writing songs like um Wake Up and Long Live Rebels
Okay.
and First Love. is more riff oriented
Yeah,
songs.
I'm
Yeah. And
definitely
if
the
there's
guy that
more,
picks up the guitar and writes there
yeah,
first. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And Josiah is going to have production value like Cuff the Criminal, Panic Room. It's kind of everybody. Panic Room was kind of everybody, wasn't it? Or was it
Yeah.
more Josiah at first?
Yeah, my favorite songs are the ones like trying to think of a perfect example where we all have written on it to some degree. Like we have a new song that's out now called "The Executioner."
Mhm.
Um, it'll be on our new album "Skeleton Psalms" that comes out at the end of April here. And that song has all these different sections. It's very cinematic and sort of all over the place, and that's part of Josiah's writing skill and capability as the producer on the album as well. But Kevin wrote basically the heart of the chorus in the song, as well as a bunch of the lyrics and the verses and everything else. So they worked on that together a lot. And then I wrote the bridge, which is the big heavy guitar part, and then Joey contributed a ton of percussive ideas that made the sections what they are. And so
Yeah.
when that balance all comes into play, there's a really cool
Yeah.
product that comes out because it's
Yeah.
everything full blast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get us all in there, everybody has the thing. You're like, you can just tell that was their
Yeah.
thing. But that's because we know each other really well. If you don't know who's contributing what, it's probably hard to figure out. I am definitely the wild card of the group. I can bring in an idea like Reanimate from our Love Letter Kill Shot record, which is the heaviest song on that. That came from my mind. This riff. I just go to Andrew, who's the guitar player, riff master of the band, and said, "Here's my idea," and he just takes it and then just runs with it and finishes the idea. I'll also, write a song like Empty Grave, which, if you're familiar, you said you like a race, so that's from the same album. More a very slow song, or any slow song that's been written and discipled the last 15 years. That's going to be me. So I'm a wild card in the sense that I can write a heavy song and a slow song, and that's just being a child of the 80s and Bon Jovi fan, Petra fan. There's always going to be a slow song on the album,
Right.
on these types of rock songs. And so,
People like me, right?
yeah, well, I mean, but I like them. So I'm not actually, and that's the thing is, we talk a lot about reaching certain people, but we're also writing music that we like.
Mhm.
So that's the biggest thing as writers, when we're writing. Yes, we are trying to write something that we think people will like, but first and foremost, we're creating art that we like
Right.
and that we want to listen to. And that was the idea behind the Honor and Glory worship project that we do. So for those that don't know, we also, the guys at Disciple are also in a different band called Honor and Glory, which is our rock worship band. And we wanted to write worship songs that we liked. Not not that we worship better than anybody else or anything, but
Right.
there's some Christian worship songs that people are like, I don't want to worship God to that song, whatever. And so we said, let's write some worship songs that we like. It's so, first and foremost, I think that's what, when we're creating art, that's what's happening. So you
And
hear
we
those
went
riffs
to
by
that.
Andrew. He's
Yeah.
right. He's playing something he wants to actually play.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
and
yeah,
we've
I
learned
mean,
that the value of music is the honesty, like whether it's
yeah.
your instrument or your words or your performance. And
Yeah.
in our case, we like it to be all three. But whether we're doing the worship thing with Honor and Glory or the disciple thing, which is like, rock band, they're all completely honest songs. And yeah, it's the music that we want to exist. Like we feel like this is what we have to give to the world. And
Right.
Yes.
that you unlock a lot of um, I don't know how to explain it, but people know, like people can tell.
They know
Uh,
when you're not
Over
being
a
real.
meter if it's like, no, they're just, this is like a product. This band was put together by a
Mm-hmm.
record label and they're just, doing this thing to sell something. That's very obvious to most people when you're honest, and you have that way of like cutting through that. I think people can tell that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's how you relate to people when you're just writing from your heart and experiences of your relationship with God, and people can relate with that. So we're going to go into something fun. So we talked about songwriting, and we like to play a game on here
Okay.
called Name Your Song.
Okay.
So And I tried to go back, but I mean, I know
It's a
you
lot.
guys have a lot of songs. I didn't go too far, but I did try to go back. So
Okay.
I have like
Ugh.
6 songs. And so what I do is I'm going to give you 2 lines of the song, and that's all I have written down, so I can't give you any more. And you got to tell me the title of the song.
Give me the
All right.
easy ones.
So we'll see which between the 2 of you can get them.
Oh,
All
man.
right. Are you ready?
Andrew only knows the wrong words to songs, so I don't feel like he's gonna do very
Be a
well in this
learning
game.
experience for me.
This is practice. So there you
Yeah.
go. All right. At times, my eyes have seen too many things. There are things that I can and can't ignore.
Gosh, wow, look at you.
I did not write that one.
Yeah, that's so
Nope.
old.
Is it?
Is that from Southern Hospitality? Um,
Oh, I didn't write the album title down. It starts with on.
Falling Star. I'm gonna go with Falling Star.
Nope. On my
On my way.
On My Way Down from
on
Southern
my way
Hospitality.
down.
Yes. On My
How
Way
far
Down.
back is that one?
It's a track that's right near Falling Star. It's
Okay.
on a album called Southern Hospitality. Yeah, it like
15
my
years ago.
my mind, yes, 2008. My mind works in like what time frame that was written as. I was like, I know
Okay.
it's one of those songs.
Okay, next one. Sitting in ashes, we're broken with our faces downward.
I know this
Wow. Yeah.
You
Go
do?
ahead.
one.
Say it.
This is The Wait Is Over.
Nice
Good
work.
job. That is
Yes.
nice. Did you write that one?
No.
Is that one way back?
But
Yeah.
I knew it, and so I got to take it's
Yeah.
probably the one I'm gonna know. So
Yeah.
You gotta just
I wrote that one.
I think you'll know another one. Okay. My knees are weak and my mind is tired.
Lay My Burdens.
Whoa, nice.
We play that all the time. So
Okay.
yeah.
When my life is like a storm, rising waters, all I want is the shore.
I don't know that. Sounds awesome. Sounds
Might
like
need to listen to that sometime, huh?
That is not our song.
What?
This is not our song. What
Yes.
song is it?
Hold on, now I've got to look this up because
That lyric is too good to be ours.
This is gonna
That's what
make
I'm saying.
This
Maybe
is
it's a
gonna make me
cover.
look bad. Okay, hold on.
No, it doesn't. No. See, if you throw a trick question in there, then that's the best one.
This has to be. This is you.
It could be.
Hold on. Unless Google is wrong with the lyrics here. All right, I'm gonna read the whole.
Chat GPT wrote that lyric.
Yeah.
Wait,
Our
let's see.
next album's gonna be an AI release.
Oh, it says you wrote this.
All right, tell me what the name of it is.
Okay, let me read more of it to see.
Okay.
When my life is like a storm, rising waters, all I want is the shore. You say I'll be okay and make it through the rain. You are my shelter from the storm.
No, that's not us.
Look at this. Hold on. After the World? Is that nice?
I mean, that's definitely our song, but I don't think
That's not the lyrics from After the World, though.
Yeah.
That's what Google has. Oh no. Okay, well, someone got it wrong.
Hey, there you go.
Trick question.
We often use the
I can,
lyrics off of Google.
We'll edit that one out. What?
We
Yeah, I
often
can
use the Google lyrics for reference, so glad we haven't tried to use that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's now you
No,
know.
I can tell you the lyrics to that one. We sing that one all the time as well. So that's
What
the only
should be
reason.
there?
None of those lyrics.
Yeah,
I
Well,
think
you know
that
what's funny is if you go to those lyrics, another song comes up with the same lyrics. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must
I
be
don't know.
attached to that song somehow.
Yeah.
It's like a girl,
Maybe
Addison.
a band we were on tour with at that time or something.
Okay, well,
This is fun though. This is fun.
Yeah, real fun because I got it wrong. Okay.
No, you're good. You didn't
won
do
that.
anything. You did. How could you know the lyrics to all these songs?
You were.
I don't even know them all.
Well, I think the next two should be right.
Okay.
You were faithful to show up on time, such a flame that was burning in your eyes.
Dear X.
I like that one too. That's a good one.
Thank
Okay,
you.
last one. Your mind has not been a friend. It chokes you within and makes truth look like a demon.
That one's
Race. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to add that one in there, of course. Hey, that wasn't too bad. That was good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah. You
Yeah, on my way down. What a deep cut. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even know that I would have even remembered that that was a Disciple song. That's such a deep cut. So that was a really good. You did well.
I tried to go back. I did the
You did
same.
well.
You'll have to watch Ryan Stevenson's interview. It's pretty funny when I do that with him. He was like, "It's so different hearing you just say it."
Yeah.
He's like trying to sing it in his head, and then he got competitive. He's like, "I already said it." It was good.
He's so awesome.
He was so great.
In high school, and you're writing your first songs with your buddies, and you're like, all right, here's the song, check it out. And you just read lyrics to each other.
Yeah.
There
It's
has never been a time that I have like told them what lyric I have in mind that I think is really cool, but without the music or without singing it, where
Yeah.
they have been like, "That's really great." Never,
no.
never.
It does not.
Yeah, I've got this idea.
That's
Like, I want to talk about this thing or whatever, and just you can see it in their eyes. They're going, "That sounds dumb."
Yeah. That sounds dumb without the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so you did mention you guys have a new album coming out April 28th, right?
Correct.
Called Skeleton Psalms.
Yes, yes.
Can you give your fans a little insight of what they can expect on that album? And I know you just got done being on tour for Winter Jam. Are you guys going to be doing
Yes.
another tour for this album?
Yes, in the fall we will be touring for Skeleton Psalms, and then in the summer we're going to be doing all the music festivals. So we'll be
Yeah, I
playing
think I'll
new
see you guys
songs.
at a couple of
Mhm.
those.
Yep, and we've got some shows before the summer festivals as well, where we'll be playing the new stuff and also I guess I can say it here. It'll be out by this time. We'll be doing a live stream of the new album on April 28th, which is the release day. It's called Skelevision. We're gonna have a free CD release show where people can come out to the show, but it's also going to be live streamed all around the world, so people that
cool.
can't make the show can watch the show. We'll play some of the new songs there.
Yeah.
Where will that be?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Well, that's not far from me. Okay.
Come on, let's go.
I might try to see if I can make that happen. That'd be cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's the new album. We're extremely excited about it. And release day is not very far away. So
yeah. Awesome. So you have a new song, Bad Words.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually watched a little interview of you talking about bad words, and I loved what you were saying. And I will say real quick too, I was really surprised to hear that you have like a little Southern accent.
Oh, it's not little.
Well, it's not what you would expect. It's not what I expected. Like you hear your music and you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna have like a rough or whatever. And he's like, so this song, Bad Words. I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah. Oh, it used to be worse. My Southern accent has actually left a lot from where it used to be. It's still very thick, but if you watch old interviews, it's really bad. It's more hillbilly. I'm from East Tennessee, so
that's okay. I like it.
You can't hide it. You can't hide it. You can't hide it.
You can't hide it.
Can't hide it.
My buddy
so tell us a little bit about
yesterday about your sermon on This Might Sting a Little.
Oh yeah, listening to me. It doesn't even sound like the same person, does it?
My wife couldn't believe how he says laugh.
How do you say laugh?
Life.
Eternal
life.
Eternal life.
Oh yeah, that
does not sound like that anymore. That's the weird part.
Yeah, no. Sorry, your question.
My question, yes. So my question is, tell us a little bit about that song. What's the meaning behind that? I loved what you were saying on your, I think it was on your guys' website, maybe that you had
social media. Yeah. This is such an interesting song. I mean, we knew from the start this song was not going to be for everyone. It's a very, very heavy song. It's not reaching anybody else, that likes that. But I love writing songs that are very passionate about our faith, that inspire people to be bold about their faith and to have an attitude of, you are not going to stop me from following Jesus. You're not going to stop me. Kind of like the apostles, whenever the religious leaders of the day were like, you cannot say the name of Jesus anymore. And Peter is like, look, would you want us to obey God or obey man? And I love that kind of just, attitude of like, we are going to do what we know is right, no matter what anybody says about it. And in this culture that we live in right now, it's so insane to even think that this is a thing, like that prayer is such an evil thing. To say the name of Jesus in a school classroom is such a taboo and evil thing. If someone were to, thank God, after receiving an award, such a just like, someone who is a Christian or is going to get blacklisted from Hollywood or not get these kinds of roles. And so, or we've had people text in or send us direct messages to social media from, Northern California. And they were like, I really appreciate this song, Bad Words, because, it inspires me to speak up at work because I'm afraid to talk about Jesus at work because I'm afraid I'll lose my job. And there's other people that are like, oh, these lyrics are so cringe, and you're like, yeah, well, because that's what the point that we're trying to make is like the world is creating Jesus to be this such a bad word where we're going to tolerate every other idea, every other philosophy, every other lifestyle choice. We're going to tolerate it all and we're going to accept it all. But this Jesus thing, this is going to now be taboo. And it's we just wanted to write a song like, he is the hope for this world. He is the hope for my life. And no matter what kind of laws you pass or cancel culture or whatever you want to throw at us to try to take us out, we are not going to shut up about Jesus. So the ultimate word, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What I do love is that you guys tend to choose some really cool titles for your songs that really kind of grab your attention, like, Bad Words, and where you're like, oh, what's that about? So I like that. That's
the
really
ultimate cool. The ultimate explicit lyric is Jesus.
It's good. It's great. So let's tell everybody where they can find you. Your social medias, your website, how can they pre-order the album, and how can they do that?
I think Disciple Rocks is the primary social media handle. And I don't know where they can pre-order the album. It's on our social media somewhere, isn't it, Drew?
Yeah. If you go to disciplerocks.com and go to our online store, it'll be available for pre-order by the time this episode airs. And you can also get it through our record label, Tooth and Nail. If you're looking for a physical copy, there will be vinyl editions available in the coming months. Everything is always a little bit further behind on vinyl versus CDs.
Right.
But yeah, CDs will be available April 28th, and of course it'll be streaming everywhere.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being on today. It was so awesome to talk to you and just pick your brain, and
thank you.
So open and honest. And thank you all for watching Carrie On, and go to disciplerocks.com, check them out. You'll also be able to get to know the other guys that were able to be on here today as well. And if you can, go to their live show on April 28th, right?
Yeah.
You said it was April 28th?
Ohio,
yeah,
Solid
Cincinnati. So, and until next time, carry on.